Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about some mathematics questions and I'm going to do quick revision. We are going to start with the place value, and I hope everyone remembers the place value of numbers. And our first example is find the place value of 2a in 256,789. So what is the place value of 2 in this number? What you're supposed to do here, you start from the right hand side, and the first one is always ones. So we count. This is ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. So the place value of 2 in this number is hundreds of thousands. Our next question, we're supposed to find the place value of 2 in this number. We start ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, million. But you realize that the place value of 2 in this figure is ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. We go to our next question. Find the place value of 2 in this number. We start from the right, ones. So we don't need to continue because 2 is the first one. So the place value of 2 here is ones. Now, our next example, you can see it has a decimal point. So this one is going to be somehow different, but it is the same. Now, we always start counting from ones. But when you look at this one, our ones is on 3, but we are supposed to find the place value of 2, which is after the point. So once you are here, you can count ones, to the left tens, hundreds, and so on. But to the right side, once you cross the decimal point, we don't start with ones because ones is already here and this is a decimal point, so we start with tens, hundreds, and so on. So the place value of 2 in this number is tens. This is the correct spelling of tens. We move to the next one, which also has a decimal point. So now it is easier. We count the place value of 2 in 8,455.632. We count tens, hundreds, thousands. So the place value of 2 is thousands. Our next and last example in our place value is this figure. It's a long one, but we can start to count. The first one is tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. So the place value of 2 in this figure is hundreds of thousands. So up to that point, we have done a quick revision on the place value of numbers. Now, after the place value, I want us to look at the total value so that we can learn what is the difference between the place value and the total value. So, our first example, find the total value of 2. So we are going to use the same numbers, but now here we are looking for the total value. So our first example is the same 256,789. We are supposed to find the total value of 2 in this number. So the total value, I want to give you a simple method or way of finding or writing the total value of a number. Now 2, this is the position of 2, or this is the place value of 2. So the first thing, write 2, then the rest of the numbers after 2, make them zeros, no matter their value. So after 2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So write 2, then 5 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the total value of 2 in this number is 200,000. Our next example, this one, I hope you can see it. So the total value of 2 in this number, as I said in example A, write the number that you have been told to find its value, total value, which is 2. Then the numbers that follows after 2, make them zeros. So we are going to write 1, 2, 3. Don't forget and write the zeros behind or before the number. So the ones that are after. So 1, 2, 3. So the total value of 2 in this number is 2,000. Our next example, you can see. So 2 is the last digit in this number. So the first thing, write it down. Then count the numbers after 2. There is none. So the total value of 2 in this number is 2. Our next example is this one, 623, and we have been asked to find the total value of 2. So the first thing, you write 2 down, then the numbers after 2, you make them zeros. So we have 1. So 1, 0. So the total value of 2 in 623 is 20. Our last example is 253. The total value of 2 in this number is, you write 2, then 1, 2 zeros. So the total value of 2 in this number is 200. So those are a few examples of the total value of numbers. So that's all about the place value and total value. Now our next quick revision is multiplication. So I hope everyone or every learner understands the multiplication table. Now we can start. Our first example, 1, work out. We have 6 examples. So the first one is just simple. 1 times 2. 1 times 2, we can break it down. This means you have one item 2 times. So repeated addition is like 1 plus 1. So 1 times 2 is 2. Our next example is 3 times 3. So we have 3 items put in 3 groups. So meaning, if you're going to use repeated addition, you're going to have 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So 3 written or added 3 times. So 3 times 3 is 9, or 3 plus 3, 6 plus 3, 9 in repeated addition. Our next example is 5 times 6, which gives us 30. So this means we have, for example, oranges. We have 5 oranges put in 6 groups. So we are going to add 5 oranges 6 times, or we have 6 groups each having 5 oranges. So if you add them, it's going to give us 30. Now, this multiplication from number 1 to 3 is arranged horizontally. So with bigger numbers or more than 2 digits, it's easier to arrange them vertically so that you can multiply them easily. Now, like our number 4 example, we have arranged the multiplication vertically, but from number 1, 2, and 3. So we have 12 times 3. So we are going to start from the right hand side. We have 2 times 3. This is our first group of multiplication. 2 times 3, which is 6. And the next group of multiplication is 1 times 3, which is 3. So 12 times 3 is 36. Our next example is 15 times 10. Here in example 4, we had 2 digits multiplied by 1 digit. In example 3, we had 1 digit multiplied by 1 digit. So as we move down, we're increasing the number of digits. So we are on 2 digits multiplied by 2 digits, which is 15 times 10. And as I said, if you arrange them vertically, it's going to be easier for you to multiply. So 15 times 10, we start from the right hand side. Our first group of multiplication is 5 times 0, which is 0. Our next group is 1 times 0, which is 0. Our next group is 5 times 1, which is 5. The next one is 1 times 1, which is 1. So after this, we are supposed to add the two answers. That is 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 5 will give us 5. 0 plus 1 will give us 1. So 15 times 10 will give us 150. Our next example is 20 times 3. 2 digits multiplied by 1 digit, already arranged in a vertical way. So we start 0 times 3, which is 0. Then 3 times 3 times 2, or 2 times 3 is 6. So 20 times 3 will give us 60. So we are moving. I hope we are moving well. Our next example is 132 multiplied by 15. So you can see we have worked with single digit, 2 digits. Now we have moved to 3 digits multiplied by 2 digits. So we could have multiplied 3 digits by 1 digit, but now that one is easier. That's why I decided to move to this one. So we arrange them vertically so that it becomes easier for you to multiply. Then we start. Always we start from the right hand side. So our first group of multiplication is 2 times 5, which is 10. 10, we don't write the whole 10. We write 0, we carry 1. We carry 1 forward. We move to our next group of multiplication, that is 3 times 5, which is 15. 15 plus the 1 that was carried forward, we get 16. So we write 6. We carry 1. So our next group of multiplication is 1 times 5, which is 5 plus the 1 that was carried forward to make 6. So we move to our next step and group of multiplication. So the first group in our next step is 2 times 1, which is 2. Then 3 times 1, which is 3. Then 1 times 1, which is 1. So from there we move to addition, where we are going to add the two answers from step 1 and step 2. So always we start from the right hand side. We have 0 plus 0, which is 0. 6 plus 2 will give us 8. Then we have 6 plus 3, which will give us 9. Then lastly we have 0 plus 1, which is going to give us 1. So our answer for 132 times 15 is 1980. We move to our next example, and I hope everybody is following well. Now, our next example is 216 multiplied by 182. So as you can see, our example number 7 and 8 are different because this one is 3 digits multiplied by 2 digits. Here we have 3 digits multiplied by 3 digits. So we go. The first step, arrange them vertically, because you cannot multiply this one by this one. It will take you a lot of time, and also you might not get the correct answer. But once arranged this way, it's easier. Now we start. And I said we always start from the right hand side. So our first step has around 3 groups of multiplication, and the first one is 6 times 2, which is 12. 12 we write 2, we carry 1. Our next group of multiplication is 1 times 2, which is 2 plus 1 that was carried forward to make 3. Our next group is 2 times 2, which is 4. So that is our first step. Step number 2, the first group of multiplication is 6 times 8, which is 48. So we write 8, we carry 4. Our next group is 1 times 8, which is 8. 8 plus 4 that was carried forward will give us 12. So we write 2, we carry 1. Our next group of multiplication is 2 times 8, which is 16. 16 plus 1 that was carried forward will give us 17. That's our step number 2. Our step number 3, the first group of multiplication is 6 times 1, which is 6. 1 times 1, which is 1. 2 times 1, which is 2. Now, we want to add the answers from the 3 steps. So we add, always we start from the right hand side. So 2 plus 0 will give us 2. 3 plus 8 will give us 11. So we write 1, we carry 1. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 6, which is 12. 12 plus 1 that was carried forward will give us 13. So we write 3, we carry 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 plus 1 that was carried forward will give us 9. Then lastly, 1 plus 2 is 3. So 216 multiplied by 182 will give us 39,312. Our last example is 511 multiplied by 368. So our example number 9 is similar to number 8 because both have 3-digit numbers. So we are multiplying 3-digit numbers with 3-digit number. So we arrange them vertically, then we write our sign as usual. Then we start from the right hand side. So as you can see here, we have 3 steps and each step has 3 multiplication groups. So our first step is 1 times 8, which is 8. 1, step number 2, group 2 multiplication is 1 times 8, which is 8. Group 3 multiplication is 5 times 8, which is 40. We move to step number 2. First group multiplication is 1 times 6, which is 6. Group 2 multiplication 1 times 6, which is 6. Group 3 multiplication is 5 times 6, which is 30. So we move to our third step. The first group multiplication is 1 times 3, which is 3. Group 2 is 1 times 3, which is 3. Group 3 multiplication is 5 times 3, which is 15. So we move to addition now. We add the 3 answers from the 3 steps. So always we start from the right hand side. The first one is 8 plus 0 will give us 8. 8 plus 6 will give us 14. So we write 4, we carry 1. Next, 0 plus 6 plus 3 will give us 9, plus 1 that was carried forward to get 10. So we write 0, we carry 1. So 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 0 plus 3 is 8. Next one, 3 plus 5 is 8. And lastly, 0 plus 0 plus 1 is 1. So that's our last example in quick revision under multiplication. So guys, thank you for watching. There we have done a quick revision on mathematics. So we are going to continue next time. So I would like to request you to subscribe to my channel. You can share, you can like, or you can also leave a comment on what you want me to handle. Thank you very much. God bless you. Keep safe. Bye bye.